Today is a Sunday morning and it's my last day in Nigeria. If you watched my previous vlog, I got into Lagos from Abuja yesterday night, Saturday. So today is the only day I have to do everything I have to do before going back to Cameroon. Now, I mentioned in my last video that this was not a plan. I was supposed to stay longer than this to do all my stuff, but I had an emergency phone call which warranted me to present myself back in my country physically to solve that particular problem. These particular 24 hours of the day was very small for me, but let's start from somewhere. First thing first, I had to go to church, and of course I went to my favorite church, yes, the Gen Z church, my PowerPoint tribe family. Let's go to church.
I'll just go right into it. So, Pastor, we'll be starting with matters of the heart this morning because, yeah. So, we'll be starting with this question. I broke up with my ex on amicable terms, but we're still friends. Would it be best to terminate the friendship? You know how they say old firewood can catch. So, would it be best to just terminate the friendship?
Good question, and I imagine that a number of people have found themselves in this situation before. But what I would say is the phase of the relationship does not afford a backward movement. So it's easy to upgrade a thing in some kinds of situations, and literally difficult or impossible to undo that thing. For example, just like you used the firewood example, you can choose to burn a firewood that has not been burned, but you can't unburn a firewood that has now been burned. What I mean by that is, once friendship crosses over to relationship and emotions get really involved and entangled, once you can't just easily detangle that sort of connection that you now share with that person and go back to the original platonic phase that it was before. So you don't just go up the escalator and down like that. It's not that much of a switch. So the best thing to do is to exit that kind of relationship in whatever form you want to call it, whether it's, oh, we're now just friends. It's very unlikely that you will just be just friends. You can't now eliminate all the feelings you've had for that person, especially if the relationship was or maybe the breakup was not a toxic breakup. You know, there's some really toxic ones that you really want to just go as far away from that person as possible. But say, for example, you guys are AS, you understand? So it was not like they did anything wrong and you both just chose to excuse each other, but you're now staying friends. You will most likely put yourself in very precarious situations and be tempted all over again. And so it's not advisable to keep in close proximity someone you have chosen to break up with. So the best thing is to just excuse yourself exclusively and completely, all right? Don't put yourself in any situation that may not be ideal. So that's what I would advise.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
Apparently at PowerPoint Tribe, they have this tradition where from time to time, they choose a particular Sunday where the pastor addresses the issues of the Christians, and this Sunday happened to be one of those Sundays. It's not just about preaching the word of God to Christians. On such Sundays, Christians are free to ask the questions that they face in their day-to-day living as Christians, and the pastor can address that. You can ask questions stemming from any domain in life, from relationships to finances to faith-based, whatever it is that is troubling your heart in your day-to-day living as a Christian, you can bring it up for more clarity and guidance. I think this is just amazing. Now, after church, we went to eat, and I visited this place called Rebels and Angels. I had seen this restaurant on Instagram, and what captivated me was the presentation of their meals. I mean, they had yummy meals, and I said when next I'm in Nigeria, I will definitely try it. So this Sunday was the only day I had to try it. So I was like, okay, let's go for lunch in this place. So I went here, and one of the things that captivated me from Instagram about this place was their price list. To me, I think their prices are really quite affordable for the average person. Now, this is what the place looks like, and they do have the upstairs and the downstairs, but I did not have energy to go upstairs. I was just like, please, can you guys just serve my food? Let me just eat before I collapse. So the meal finally came. It didn't take so long. I had ordered a drink, pineapple and apple drink, and this was the food. This platter is called We All Love Rice, and it goes for 17,000 naira, which to me I think is quite fair enough. It has a combination of fried rice, native rice, and Niger jollof, coupled with peppered pomo, some beef, and then peppered chicken, and some dodo, ripe plantain. So I think this is quite fair enough. I mean, when I convert it to France CFA, I mean, it's fair enough. I don't know if for Nigerians it's not fair, but anyway, the meal was tasty, and after that we headed straight to this cake place. Now, I'm a baker, if you don't know, and I have been following Odun's Creams Cakes for like the longest time now, and I told myself that whenever I visit Lagos, I will definitely visit her cake shop. She's like one of my mentors I really look up to. I enjoy her every aspect of her work. So there was a particular cake slice I was really interested in trying because she had marketed it so well and it looked so good. So we found our way to this place using Google Map. I was quite impressed, like Google Map actually took us like to the exact door. Guess what, family members? I got into this place and I met the CEO herself. There she was sitting with the red t-shirt. I had no expectations of meeting her here. I mean, I knew she would be in her office because she has an office here. But I think luck was on my side on this day. She was seated here and she was calculating something with her staff. And I decided to take my luck. I approached her, went to her, and I told her how much I admire her work and appreciated her and all of that. And I asked to take a picture with her, and she told me, where am I coming from? I said Cameroon, and she said, oh, she'll be in Cameroon next month for a class and she's looking forward to seeing me in that class. And I'm like, why not? I guess luck was on my side on this day. So after that, we bought what we came there to buy. This is the cake slice I really wanted to try. We got it and I was like, let me see if this Odun Creams cake is overhyped. And family members, it did not even fall short of my expectations. I mean, it was really, really yummy. I think I did justice to it. Like, I ate everything by myself without sharing with anybody. That's how good it was. After that, I told you guys that, I mean, this vlog, I had so many things to do in the space of 24 hours. Now, went to the market to buy pomo, or what we call kanda, because I wanted to cook a Cameroonian meal. I had brought a Cameroonian meal from Cameroon when coming, Kwakoko Bible, and I planned to cook kanda sauce, which is eaten with it. That's a traditional meal hailing from the Bakuri people in Cameroon. So I wanted my Niger people to try our authentic Cameroonian meal. I turned and saw them selling towel, and I'm like, why is Nigerian towel white? I mean, our towel in our country is not white. This is what we call towel. I don't know what you guys call it in Nigeria, but ours is not white like this. This looks like it's from the abroad. So we came to buy fresh tomatoes because I needed that to cook the kanda sauce. And this was supposed to be like a full video. I had plans of cooking a lot in Nigeria on this trip. I was supposed to do an entire video titled Cost of Living in Lagos, Nigeria versus Cameroon, where I was supposed to go to the market and buy all the things I wanted to use to cook all the different meals I wanted to use. But time was not on our side. So we bought that and then we went home and I cooked, but I did not eat because I did not want to fill my stomach. I wanted to eat amala. I mean, I could not come to Lagos and come to Nigeria as a whole without eating amala. I did not have the opportunity to try it in Abuja because I did not have the time for the queue. But I came to Lagos and I'm like, I cannot even leave Cameroon without satisfying this particular craving. So I came to Amoke and I had my amala, craving satisfied. After all the waka waka about, we showered and had a change of clothes, and then it was time to go for the night part. So we ordered a ride to take us to the Ikeja City Mall, I had so many things to do in a very limited time. So with all the things I had to do, I told my friend, and I'm like, where can I go to that I will just do all these things I wanted to do without having to move from one end to another, wasting time, which I did not have. And he was like, the mall will probably have all the things I want. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. I mean, I visited the mall in Abuja, so it's only fair that I get to visit the mall in Lagos. So the escalator was not working. Same thing as Abuja, one side wasn't working. I think in Lagos both sides were not even working, but in Abuja one side was working and the other side was not working. I don't know if they had switched it off at this point. I just don't know, but yes, I moved with my legs. The moment we got upstairs, the first place we went to was the cinemas to get our ticket. Now, I've never been to a cinema before in my entire life, and I told myself that if I'm to watch a movie at the cinema, it only makes sense that I watch it in the country which is like the top movie country in Africa, which happens to be Nigeria. I was supposed to do this in my last trip, but it just was not possible, and I told myself I cannot leave this second trip without doing this particular thing, this cinema. I wanted my first cinema experience to be in Nigeria. So we got here to get our tickets. We wanted to just know if there'll be a movie that could even favor our timing with all the things we had to do. And guess what? We saw a movie for 9:30 p.m. and we're like, okay, I think we could do all the things we have to do at the mall before rushing back to come watch the movie. Now, at this point, I did not even care which movie they were showing at that time. All I wanted was, okay, a movie should be shown at that time, giving me time to do all the things I have to do. My friend was like, I should make a choice. I'm like, don't even bother yourself. I really do not even care. I'm not even a movie person like that. You know those people that when you're watching a movie with them, they're the ones who are asking you, what will happen here? Will this person die? Yes, now maybe that. I am that kind of person. I know it's so annoying when you're watching a movie with that kind of person, but yes, that's who I am. So we're just kind of looking at the various movies that they had displayed on their slab, and I saw this one. I'm like, oh, I know some people here. I know Kunle Remi, I know Sheyi Awolowo, and all of that. I was just naming a couple of Nigerian actors I could recognize there to my friend. So we chose the movie that was available for that time, and then we went to pay, but we told them we are not collecting our popcorn or our drink now. We just want to get the ticket and rush to do other stuff. So they gave us a ticket, and then they wrote on the ticket that we have not collected the popcorn. They indicated on the ticket something. So when we're coming to collect, we just went to the other side and just collected before going. So after we paid and collected our ticket, it was time for us to do all the other things I had to do at the mall. Now, the first thing I wanted to do was to go to ShopRite to look for something I could buy for my parents to take back to Cameroon. Now, the last time I came to Nigeria, I mean, I went empty-handed. See, my mom did not give me breathing space for the next 1 week. If I smile in the house like that, she'll just say, why am I smiling when I came back from Nigeria empty-handed? So I knew better not to make that same mistake. The only thing I could buy for my dad at this place that would make him happy was books, because he loves reading books. This place had just books for kids. I don't know why. This was the only book I could find that was looking like, I didn't even bother to read what it was about, but it did not look like it was a book for a kid. So I just took this one and I left because I did not have time. And then I went to get my mother some snacks. I couldn't find the exact Nigerian snacks I wanted to get for her, so I decided to go with nuts, which are healthy living. I had planned like the kind of snacks I wanted to get for her, authentic, like locally made snacks even. I couldn't find it here. So we got the things we got, and then it was about the time to pay. Family members, can somebody tell me why there is such a long queue for paying at ShopRite at the mall? My friend is like, I've not even seen anything. Like, the queue used to be longer than this. We took over 30 minutes to 45 minutes just to pay for these 4 items, and I'm like, what is happening here? It was so long and time consuming, the time which I did not have. They say person with the hairy, not the hairy. This was the case for this day, because I mean according to the cashier numbers, there are supposed to be like over 30 cashiers, but on this day, I think just like 15 or 20 cashiers were working. So the queue was really long. So finally paid and went to the next place to get something. And while my friend was paying, I was looking at the receipt, and I saw that there was something on the receipt that cost 10,000 naira. I'm like, which single item did I buy to cost 10,000 naira? And I saw that it was this pack of nuts, and I'm like, why is it 10,000 naira? Is it because they wrote there with kernels? I mean, banga. Is that why it's 10K? Anyway, we bought all the things we wanted to buy, and then we went to watch our movie. I mean, at this point we're already super late, so I could not even vlog when we're taking our popcorn or the water. We're just in like a mad rush. We just got there, collected it, and we're rushing to the movies, and the film had already started. But I mean, it had not gone so far that we could not understand. So we quietly just moved into the cinema, found the stairs, climbed quietly, found a place to sit for us to start watching the movie. We just settled down really quick and then started the movie.
Looks like we have guests. I don't think those people are here for us.
This was the end of the movie, and to be quite frank, the movie was quite interesting. It had a couple of life lessons to be learned from it, and I'm like, Nigerians are doing so well for themselves when it comes to this movie thing. This is the title of it, What About Us? Very interesting movie. It had us in the cinema going from I mean, the emotions in the movie, it was such a beautiful watch. I mean, I'm happy that my first movie experience was something I don't regret. I mean, this is the experience I paid for. So when we're done with the movie, we went to collect our stuff that we kept at the entrance. They refused us entering into the cinema hall with all the plastics we were carrying. They said we had to keep them here. So after the movie, we came and collected all the things we had bought before going to watch the movie, and then it was about time for us to leave. This was about 11 p.m. and it took us about 30 minutes to 45 minutes to look for a ride that will accept to come and pick us here to take us to Oshodi. I don't know why, but I still had so much to do. I did not even sleep on this day. I got to Oshodi about 12 midnight and I started packing. 24 hours was indeed small.